And every 30 minutes, excuse me, I think I need some water. Much better. It's Christy with the Chirp YouTube channel. Welcome to a new video. I thought that since summer weather has arrived, many of us in the United States are experiencing horrible heat right now. Today at my house, it was 117 degrees for a high. That's really hot. And we experience this every year. I live in the Arizona desert. It's hot here. And it's no surprise that it's hot here, but for some of you, it's extra hot where you are for you, and it's a surprise to you because you're not used to that kind of heat. I hope everyone is staying safe, that your air conditioners work, and that you are comfortable and managing okay in spite of the weather. We go out I go out very, very early in the morning to be outside a little bit. As mentioned in my previous couple of videos about movement and about nature, I need that. And so I've been waking up very early at 4:30 to go out, be outside, get some exercise. And it does really help me feel not quite so cooped up and angry. Today, we're going to be talking about something else related to the weather, and that is hydration. We don't have a lot of information necessarily from the studies on autism and hydration. But what we do know is that kids who are even mildly dehydrated, I'm gonna have to look at my notes to read this to you, show more difficulty in areas of cognitive performance, short-term memory, concentration, switching tasks, visual attention, and visual searching. These are a lot of different areas that affect ability to function at home or in a classroom. So we want to make sure that our kids are not dehydrated. We know that a well-hydrated brain works better. We also know that kids who are overweight or obese tend to be more dehydrated, which seems odd, but it appears to be the truth. And we know that kids under 10 have more difficulty with appropriate fluid intake and management of their hydration levels than kids over 10. And that makes sense when we think about something called interoception. I've talked about this in previous videos, and I will leave a link to the main one up there. Interoception is the ability to sense what is going on in our own bodies. This is very difficult for some of us. This is very challenging for many people with autism. It's challenging for many people with attention deficit disorders. And there are a wide range of other health conditions where this is an issue. What that means is that it's often hard for these people to tell if they're tired or hungry. This is one of my issues. Now I just assume it's tired because I don't want to be eating all the time. Sometimes it's difficult for people to tell if they are hungry or thirsty. And that can be an issue for many of us, that we think we're hungry, but actually we're thirsty. Interoception makes it difficult to interpret where pain signals are coming from. I happen to feel nauseous when I am in pain. So I don't often realize I am in pain because I feel like I'm going to throw up. Very interesting thing, our bodies. Obviously, if I don't know that I'm thirsty, if I don't feel it in the same manner that other people do, I'm probably not going to drink enough. And so we need to help our kids learn to recognize when it's time to drink, and also hopefully recognizing along with that what the feeling of thirst actually feels like. As I'm moving along with this video, I want to say that when we're talking about hydration, mainly I'm talking about water. H2O. I'm not talking about soda. I'm not talking about sweet tea. I'm not talking about energy drinks. Heaven forbid that you give your child energy drinks. Please don't. I'm not talking about fruit juice. I'm talking about water. Water does something unique for us that nothing else does. Now, some kinds of unsweetened teas, especially hibiscus tea, green tea, that kind of thing, can be very, very good for us, are known to fight high cholesterol, are known to fight cancer, although we shouldn't probably be giving our kids caffeine, so be careful with the green tea. Hibiscus tea is an herbal tea and it doesn't have any caffeine. But mostly we want to be giving our kids water to drink. Water is what is going to be the most beneficial. Also, of course, many of the foods that our kids eat should contain a high proportion of liquid. The higher the proportion of fluids in a food that we eat, the more satiating it's going to be, the more hydrating it's going to be. Usually we'll get fuller faster. I put a link to a great book on this topic down below, as well as a bunch of other stuff, so go down there. All the studies that I'm talking about, I'm not listing them by name or anything, but I will put a bunch of studies down there. So if you are one who likes to read the science for yourself, please do. I have linked it below. If I missed anything, let me know and I will make sure to add it. Plain water or flavored waters, but do not use artificial or natural flavors in whatever water you're giving your kids. Do not buy LaCroix or La Croix if you're fancy. Do not buy those flavored waters. You have no idea what artificial flavor means, or even natural flavor. It is chemicals. Chemicals that you don't want in your body and you don't want in your child's body. Get the plain stuff. You can flavor it yourself. Let's talk about how to teach kids that water is important. You might want to write some sort of a little story with pictures, maybe of you, photos that you took of you. You can create a little book on your phone. There are some apps that help you do that, or you could do it in Google Photos, or you could print out photos and make a little laminated book. But it might be something like, I wrote myself a little story here. My muscles help me go. My muscles need water to help me run and walk and jump. My brain helps me think. My brain needs water to help me plan and be creative and think. We're explaining that water is important for me to be able to do the things that I want to do. We want to phrase it as much in the positive as possible, and we want to use as many things that the kid enjoys as possible. For example, if my little daughter with autism likes to swim in the pool, I might talk about how without drinking enough water while I'm out in the pool, I'll get a headache and I'll start to feel really tired and I won't be able to swim anymore. So I need to make sure that I'm drinking enough water so I can keep swimming. Motivate your child with what motivates your child. You can also choose to illustrate these stories, talk through the story one phrase at a time, for example, the swimming thing, and then with my daughter, I might draw a picture of her swimming in the pool, and then I might draw another picture of her when she doesn't drink enough water and she can't swim in the pool and she's tired and her head hurts. We can do some pretty fun things creatively to help our kids understand these concepts. We also want to teach our kids that sometimes we have trouble hearing what our bodies are trying to tell us, and because we know we need enough water, but we might not know when we need water, we're going to use some tricks. And then you can experiment with strategies that work for your family and your child. One strategy might be a timer that you set for 30 minutes, and you have a bottle with little markings on it, and every 30 minutes, excuse me, I think I need some water. Much better. Every 30 minutes, a certain amount of water has to be gone. You don't have to have, the milliliter numbers. You can just mark it yourself at interesting intervals. It doesn't have to be a measured bottle. It doesn't have to be a special bottle. You might have a special cup that your child uses, and every 30 minutes, half the cup has to be drunk. And then when the next timer goes off, the rest of it gets drunk. Maybe you keep it in the fridge so it stays cold, or maybe your child likes to add ice to make it cold, or maybe your child doesn't like it cold. Figure all these things out so that we can make our kids' brains work to the best possible level. We also can teach our child to use a watch, to set an alarm on a watch that will beep maybe every half an hour or every hour. And this is another step towards independence with monitoring water intake. We always want to be thinking about, how can I support my child in doing this now? But also, how can my child become more independent with this skill as she grows, as she maybe becomes an independent living young adult? How can I still make sure that she is getting appropriate hydration even when I'm not around? A watch alarm can be one of those things that helps with that. Watching your child's pee is another fun way to monitor hydration. This is something that is shown to be a pretty good indicator of whether we're well hydrated or not. If your pee is light pale yellow or less yellow than that, more pale, more towards the clear, then you are probably in the clear. If your pee is more of a bright yellow or a rich yellow, if it's pretty stinky, if it really smells like pee rather than a little bit more mild like water, then you're probably not drinking enough water. Keep in mind that certain vitamins, like niacin, which I think is vitamin B6, that one can make your pee change color, certain B vitamins especially. So if you're taking those vitamins and your pee is really bright, if you're eating beets and you haven't eaten beets before, that can also change the color of your urine. So keep that in mind, but for the most part, your urine can tell you a lot about whether you're drinking enough water. And you can teach your child, you can put a little color comparison chart on the wall next to the toilet with the really pale yellow on one side and a thumbs up, and a darker yellow on the other side with a thumbs down, or a picture of a glass of water and that says more water, and on the other side with the thumbs up it says okay. We can be really creative with the ways that we help our kids monitor themselves and get the hydration that they need. That is our video for today. I hope this was helpful to you. Keep hydrated in this very hot summer weather. I will see you in my next video. Have a great day. Bye.